Hi, and welcome back to Brain Development Basics. I'm Mary Quest, the content coordinator for Town Square at Erickson Institute. And the second part in the three-part series of Brain Development Basics is really going to look at the ways in which experiences support brain development in a variety of ways. Experiences are what build the brain and create the connections between the brain cells that are the main work of the early childhood years. And so, especially positive experiences which support strong connections between brain cells and the development of healthy patterns are what we're talking about here. And so, this part of the series is going to look at these activities that you very likely are already offering to children and the ways in which they relate to the different brain systems which were outlined in part one. So here's a list of sort of typical interest areas, and you may have some or all of these in your own family childcare home. And what I'd like you to do is take a moment and choose one of these interest areas to think about and consider the kinds of benefits that you already know children are getting out of experiences in these interest areas. So you could even pause the video for a moment and jot down a few ideas about the benefits of the particular interest area that you've chosen. We're going to take a look at each interest area, and while all of these are supporting development across all of the different brain systems, I'm going to highlight one particular connection to brain development for each of the areas in the upcoming slides. So the sensory table, really any kind of sensory experience for children, is going to help the cortex with practicing interpreting sensory input and then sending out appropriate responses. And the more children engage with sensory experiences, the more those pathways get smoothed out and those responses become more efficient. Dramatic play supports positive understanding of oneself and others, and it also offers an opportunity to experiment with a range of emotions. And so, in this way, it helps support connections within the limbic system. Discovery kinds of activities are things that involve science, technology, math kinds of experiences. And they support higher level thinking because they often include problem posing and problem solving. And in this way, it supports developing connections in the prefrontal cortex. Literacy really involves language, reading, writing, really any kind of communication. And communication supports positive relationships with others and also supports emotional regulation and understanding within the limbic system. Arts experiences, and this is the whole range of types of experiences. The example here is painting, but many arts experiences are going to involve learning fine motor skills, and this is going to support connections in the cerebellum with that new motor learning. Also, with outdoor play, there's vast opportunity for large motor learning, which is also happening within the cerebellum with outdoor play experiences. So thanks for joining me for this segment of the Brain Development Basics Learn, Share, and Grow series. In the next segment, there will be a summary of what brain research has shown about the impact of early experiences on the developing brain. So I hope you will join me for the third segment in this series. Thanks.